Hey, Harvey the Silver Fox here I'm with Marty Bostic, my business partner. We happen to be in our live training room, and of course, you can access the live training room by going to HarveySilverFox.com. Now, today, Marty's going to be talking about the benefits, how come you need a self-hosted autoresponder. Marty, can you explain real briefly why somebody would need that?
Sure. So a lot of times you get leads from various lists. In this particular case, you get large amounts of leads from lists that are cold. All these emails are cold and don't know who you are yet. So a self-hosted autoresponder gives you some flexibility where you can actually take those leads and start to nurture those and introduce yourself to them. And you end up in a situation where you start building a rapport with a small percentage of those folks, and the cumulative effect over time is that you end up with a list of people that are interested in what you're talking about. And it's a good way to scrub and filter leads without getting in trouble with the big commercial autoresponders like the AWebers, the send lanes and get responses and the rest of them. So each of those autoresponder platforms has their own purpose. They serve a role there, and we'll get into those here in just a few minutes. But the self-hosted autoresponder gives you complete flexibility on reaching out to these cold leads and starting to warm them up.
Now, the first question we always get is, what's it going to cost me?
Well, this one may break the bank. This one costs $3.35 a month.
Okay, well, what's the setup? What's the setup cost?
So the setup fee, there's a guy on Fiverr that I use. He's about $35 to get that set up. Here, I'll show you his exact gig here in the order that I placed. So this one was with the fee for PayPal. It was $37, and once you create your hosting account with OVH hosting, which we'll talk about, then the initial setup on it is you pay for your virtual private server. The initial setup was just about $3 and something. And then I went ahead, it's optional, but I went ahead and bought some additional IP addresses for growth so it can rotate through all these, but you only pay for those up front. And then every month, there's no additional charge for those. So my ongoing cost after the $37 here and my minor setup fee for getting my server set up is just $3.35 a month. So that's pretty dang cheap.
So that everybody understands who are watching this video for the first time and have no idea the leads we're talking about. Now, these leads come from My Lead Gen Secret, and they're through the lead swap. Can you explain that a little bit? Sure.
So each week we participate, as a benefit of being in here, we participate in a lead swap where everybody's new leads they get with My Lead Gen Secret for the week, they take those leads and they contribute that to a facility that Reed Florine has set up, he's got a pretty good Facebook group and training, and as a side benefit of being in his team, then all of those leads get compiled and scrubbed and cleaned, and each week he sends out a distribution of leads for everybody to be able to use to email those. You could see this particular one had 227,000 in it. Now, does that mean all 227,000 could be reached? No, there's going to be some junk in there. There's going to be some that are on blacklists and things like that, but that's where one of these filtration systems comes into play with a self-hosted autoresponder. Now, you got folks that want to take a self-hosted autoresponder and make that the ultimate replacement for any other commercial autoresponder, which you could do, but it takes a whole lot of work to get it to that point to stay out of the spam traps and the blacklists and all that. So I try and make sure that I keep the spam rate low and I keep my emails in a personable manner where they don't come across as spam. And there's some checks and balances you can do to make sure of that. But you can see where over time with the lead swaps, I've loaded up 524,000 subscribers. So that's pretty significant. And it's one of those things that once you put it together properly, you've got a series of filters or exclusions where you weed out who the people that are interested and who the ones aren't, and put those on your list. And we'll cover that here in just a moment. But the advantage to loading in all those leads is you have the ability to reach out to those folks and kind of take a pulse and send them emails, and I'll show you what those stats look like momentarily. Where all I care about, me personally, all I care about is a very small percentage of those, to see who those real people are that are in there, that want to click, that want to open the emails and want to continue getting emails from me. So it might only be, 20 or 30 a day, but that's okay. That's 20 or 30 a day coming out of that lead swap list that's being added to my engaged list that you see down here. I've got 852 people since I've been doing this for several weeks now. I've got 852 people on my list that open and interact with my emails. And that's the ones I'm interested in. I don't care about the 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 people out here. I care about the ones down here that really wanted to stop and pay attention.
Now, can you explain, of course, everybody's going to be contacting you and I about teaching them how to do this. Now, Reed has set up a training. Can you show people where to go for that training?
Sure can. Oops, wrong one. There we go. So the My Lead Gen Secrets Success Group is one that he's built. He had 1,000 people in it when I started. I started on the 1st of September. It's up to 3,934 people right now.
Wow.
Or excuse me, 2,190 members. I'm sorry. So it's grown exponentially, and these are all people that have come into the program, and you can see them all interacting in here and posting their stats, posting their success, and I do the same. But there's training units here that have been laid out. There's 13 training units right now that are laid out here to help you every step of the way, including talking about a self-hosted autoresponder. Like here, right here, is the training unit for that. And there's a webinar that was there, and there's some other information here. Here's the link to the Fiverr gig. Everything you need to know about getting your hosting and getting all that set up is right here.
Now, just so everybody knows, you will need to be a member of My Lead Gen Secret to make this work, so that the cost would be that membership, that monthly membership.
Right. So $60 up front, and then $30 a month.
Yeah, $30 a month. Thereafter, now does Reed charge you to join become the?
No, this is just a benefit of being in this hierarchy here. This group is totally free, and there are quite a few 6- and 7-figure marketers in here dropping really useful stuff every single day.
So in other words, somebody watching this video, they just can't jump over there if they're not a member of My Lead Gen through somebody.
Right.
Okay. All right.
You have to be invited through that downline.
Right.
Yeah, that's correct.
And this is by invitation only.
That's correct. Okay. So if you sign up underneath Harvey, then he can send you the link to it for you to go join that group and get involved with it, and you get access to all this training for absolutely nothing, and you get to interact with these folks and ask questions. And there's some really good stuff in here.
Now today is Monday, so last Friday we requested our leads by downloading our leads in our back office of My Lead Gen Secret. And of course, you downloaded 1,400 leads, and I downloaded 1,400 leads last Friday. Now,
that's correct.
Today, we should receive, probably, there's no guarantee, around 300,000 leads today, right?
Yeah, I would expect it'll break 300,000 easily. So you can see my leads. Once you start out with 100, okay, and then you get 100 a day. And then if you get one sale, then you start getting 200 a day from there on, as long as you have at least one active person in your downline. So you can see that, I got started around the 31st. So I got my first 100 leads, and then the next 100, and then I got a sale, then I got more sales, and I got more sales. So here's all those leads. And what we end up doing each week is we'll go take the leads since the last Friday's lead swap, and we'll select them all, the ones for all those date ranges, and then we just go download them and submit them to that lead swap. And then sometime today, I would expect that we'll get an email with the lead swap leads all that we submitted last week that are ready to go. And I'll take those and get them put into here. And you can see that I've got 1,833 leads that I've not sent an email out to since last week. So these, it's a cumulative list that I build, and what happens is after I send them an email, if they open an email, I move them to an openers list. If they don't, I move them to the sent unopened list, and I just keep cycling through this list and weeding them out until there aren't any more in here. And then if I ever, for whatever reason, run out and I've been able to email them all, then I'll go back and start sending emails to the sent unopened list again and just keep going and going and going. So you're not going to run out of leads to contact, but you can't send it all to all of them in a 24-hour period, or you'll get shut down from too much spam.
Now you can't just take these 300,000 leads that we receive every week and just plug them into Aweber or GetResponse, can you?
No, you absolutely cannot. You'll end up getting your account banned and suspended, and you absolutely cannot just take those and import them into a commercial autoresponder. So you want to work towards doing some things there to get them over into a commercial autoresponder through them opting into a form or a lead magnet or something that you're giving away, but you don't want to try and just import them there or they'll shut your account down.
So what you do here is you take your self-hosted autoresponder right here, and then you send out an email with a lead capture page specifically for what you're trying to promote. That's programmed for GetResponse or Aweber. That's how you do it, right?
Yes. So it's a series of offers. I've got, so the people that open my email and they land on my openers list, I send them the very next day, I send them basically a welcome email for being on my list. And through these various links that are here in this welcome email, I move them over into either an Aweber or SendLane or GetResponse, depending on where I want them to go. And you don't have to have multiple commercial autoresponders. I do it. I have my own reasons around doing that, but it's optional. You just need one of them. So assume that it's Aweber for a moment and you send them over there. So right here, if you don't already have a funnel in place for building a passive income, then pick this one up for free. Well, that actually gets them into a list I have in GetResponse. I actually move them over into this list called Get Paid with Marty. And what happens is they're still over here in the self-hosted autoresponder, but I've actually put them into another funnel, another follow-up sequence in the commercial autoresponder. And then the next day's email, it goes out where everybody that lands in the openers list, you can see they get an email each day. Okay. And these might have offers to put them in another list. It might just be something of some free training, some value that I'm offering them, but I'm not trying to hard sell them. And if you look, you can see I've sent 100% of the leads over here and that list has started to grow. Well, you get some unsubscribes. That's going to happen no matter what platform you use. Your bounces with a self-hosted autoresponder, your bounce rate, meaning it failed to deliver either through a spam trap or whatever, is going to be pretty high. But that's okay. You're working on the ones that make it. So we'll go look at one of these here in just a moment. But you can see the people that landed here on day one, these open rates are pretty dang good. So we're in the 18%, 9, 17, 15, 7, 19. If you're getting more than about a 3% open rate, you're doing really good. So you can see these folks, actually, these are the click rates. Here's the open rate. So 44%, 31%, 34%. You can see the number of people that have been going through this follow-up sequence that are still with me days and days and days later, that are still opening my emails and still clicking. So this one went out yesterday. Had 102 people out of that list that opened the email, and 67 of them clicked on it. So the idea, even though it's a high bounce rate, I really don't care, because what I care about is people stay engaged here. They continue to interact with me and they open my emails. What you're not going to get are those types of open rates on these large lists of cold leads that have never been contacted before. Okay. So you can see the email I sent last night is still sending. It's at 37% right now. It's been sent out to 695 people, and 3 people opened it and 1 person clicked. Well, by the end of the day, that's probably going to be in this range, somewhere in the 20 to 30 range. Well, that's 20 or 30 people that actually move over into my list. So that 852 people that's in my list, those are all engaged people, as you just saw. And on a daily average over the last 7 days or so, we've got basically 24 people a day that are new that get added to this list. Well, that's free subscribers. That's totally free. I take that back. It's costing you $3.35 to get these 24 new subscribers a day. Okay, so those people that come in that list are getting added to this every day. So each week we get these lead swap leads. All I'm sifting through is gold. And an analogy I like to use is like the Gold Rush TV show, where they get these big ass conveyor belts that are a mile long. You know, they're moving millions of tons of pay dirt, and they're taking all that and they're putting it on conveyor belts, they're shaking it all up, they're sifting through there, just like we're sifting through over here. And what comes out the other end is this little bitty jar, this little tiny jar of gold dust. That's what it is. It's gold. It's real money. So the idea is to get this list continuing to grow and ultimately getting them into other funnels that I know generate income, that generate money. And I want to working this list and cultivating it. This is my jar of gold dust right here, the 852. It's not the 500 and something thousand that are sitting out there. So every day, if I've got this moving and I've got these people coming in here, you can see over the last 7 days, there's been 165 new people added to this list to get to this number. So week after week after week, by doing this, you're going to continue to grow a list and you're going to continue to build it. And that's just a side benefit for free for being part of my lead gen secret, for actually being in there and getting that lead swap list. People pay serious money for getting to build a list like this and being able to work with it. So you get those leads for free. So it's a win-win in my opinion.
So you and I always talk about this pretty much every day. The reason 98% of those newbies and those online marketers fail is they do not know how to build a list. They constantly send their prospects directly to their sales pages, thinking that that prospect will be just as excited as they are about their best biz offer. And 98% of the time they aren't. So when you place somebody on a list, if they're not excited about that biz offer, you can always introduce them to a different biz offer.
That's right. So it's kind of like being at a car dealership. You're walking around on the lot and you got the guy following you around, driving you insane, trying to sell you something. You don't care what that guy's got to say if you're out there just looking for a car. You want to look for a car. You want to shop around. So same way with sending emails, you may be looking for the right business opportunity. You may be looking for the right offer and you've not seen it yet. So the purpose of having a follow-up sequence of emails where you're dripping emails on people and they're coming in there is you're kind of in a dating game there. You're courting this subscriber. You're building up that relationship and that trust. You're providing things of value. You're not trying to hard sell them and send them off to a sales page somewhere. So it's essential that you nurture those leads and get those folks to a point where they trust you and they're interested in what you have to say. And you don't want salesy, pitchy emails. You just don't want them. And you can see the ones that I send out, like this one right here. This one got 32 opens. And I want you to look at what the content of the email is. It really is not salesy or pitchy at all. Okay, I come up with this fictitious story about how scientists came up with the worst thing ever is. And all I do is tell a comical story. I talk about it, but I connect my point toward the end, and I give somebody a free cheat sheet. Well, guess what they have to do to get the free cheat sheet? They have to go opt into my list in a commercial autoresponder. Okay. But I'm not selling them anything. I'm giving them value. I'm giving them training. And then if they didn't click on that link, I put it in a PS line over here. and say, hey, here's 8 more of them to help you. Well, what they don't realize, it's the same list that I'm putting them in. So they go click here or they click here.
So newbies right out the gate and try to sell something on their first response.
That's right.
On their first email. They try to sell something. They don't warm somebody up.
Yeah, like right here, got some free training. Over here, somebody can watch me with some more free training with stuff I'm doing. I'm passively selling on the back end. I'm not trying to sell them up front. That's not to say I don't sell in emails, but I do it in a way that I'm not selling. So actually, this last email I sent out is the art of profiting without selling, which it's how to do that, how to make money on the back end without having to ask for a sale.
Good segue.
But that's what the majority of them are about.
Yeah, that's a good segue into this training here. Just not selling anything. That's great.
That's right. That's right. And, you know, it's about value proposition. So when you're sending this out, you know, the My Lead Gen secret leads, I'll show you something for a minute. I get questions almost daily about how I get such good responses from the emails I send out. Well, it's because I'm not sending crap emails. You know, I'm sending ones that pique curiosity, that are interested for people. I'm giving them stuff of value for free. You can see when I first started, you know, I got some pretty good stats there. And as it progressed, it's a numbers game. So we got, you know, 1,100 leads, 1,300 leads, 1,500 leads. So as those each day add up, you know, I'm about to break the, I'm about to break the 9,000 leads mark that I'm sending emails out to with a built-in mailer every day. This is another benefit of the My Lead Gen secret. So when you're paying that $30 a month, you get access to a built-in mailer where you can mail those leads you get every day. It costs you nothing extra. So, you know, the cumulative effect here is you start to get more opens, you start to get more going on. This is one I sent late last night. So that's that same email that you saw there. It's just now starting to get in the mix. And as that starts to build, you start to get this type of momentum. But you can't do it with pitchy junk. You've got to use emails that are interesting to people. People follow the people. They don't care about what the person
on that,
but they'll get used to your method of talking.
On that subject here, since we're back here, a lot of my members, a lot of my students say, hey, listen, I was in My Lead Gen secret for 3 months. I did not get any response. And of course, the first thing I asked them is, did you try to sell them something? Did you try to get them into your other AWeber? Did you try to do this? What was your emails like? And 98% of the time, well, 100% of the time, they said, no, I tried to sell something right out of the gate. And that's the reason they failed using My Lead Gen secret. And you hit it right on the head right there. Is you never try to sell something right out of the gate. You try to get them into your other list, either through AWeber or get response.
That's right. And by doing that, I started getting some really good response from people. I got people signing up. I had people like, you know, you get $100 bonuses if you get 5 a week. And so there's some good momentum there. I've not really even been trying to promote My Lead Gen secret actively. It's just kind of passively on the back end about other training or leads or free funnels or things that are being of interest to people. So there's real money back here. You can see it looking at it. And I'm starting to get residual commissions starting to come in. These are recurring commissions from people that pay their $30 bill each month. So it's a cumulative effect. People start adding on and adding on. So by the end of the day, you've ended up with a nice residual income building. But I'm not being aggressive in my emails. I'm being very simple with them. So, you know, you can see these are some of the same ones that I sent out that I showed you a few minutes ago. So none of this stuff is pitchy or salesy, but I get good responses off of it. In that particular list we're looking at there, that particular one around the 8 free cheat sheets, just in the last few days, because what happens is they go through about 3 days of emails inside of here, or 4 days actually, and then I move them into a bigger list. This is basically what the last 3 to 4 days looks like. I've got another 39 people that have come in from all these other emails I've sent to feed this funnel, because I ultimately put them in another funnel down here where I've got about 2,000 people in there right now. And those people, as they go through there, I've got about 6 months worth of emails sitting in here. And that's a money machine. Okay. That's where the money comes from. So hopefully that'll give you some perspective on why you use systems like these. And you get people that are just going absolutely berserk trying to figure out how to be the next AWeber or be the next Get response with a self-hosted autoresponder. Just not going to happen. It's not. I've been at this a long time, and I can tell you, you can't beat all the Barracuda spam firewalls and the rest of those sitting out there these days. You just can't do it. But what you can do is be that little trickle of people that come through here. And these are real people, man. These are ones that, just today, or let's look at yesterday's email, okay? The one from the 12th. So there's one that's a completed campaign. Let's just go look at some of the people that have clicked on it and done things here. So I've had 28 opens and 9 clicks. I don't really give a crap about the clicks for that initial contact on a cold email. I couldn't really care. If they do, it's a benefit. It's just a bonus. What I care about is getting leads. So that way I can move them into a indoctrination sequence where I can start to talk to them. So you can see there's some Gmails. Okay, these are cold emails. So there's some Gmails. I've ripped out all the junk email domains, so we're not sending them to those like the AOLs, the MSNs, the Yahoo type email address that basically go to spam right out of the gate. But you could see people have clicked on a YouTube video I had in there. They've clicked on other links I've had in there. Here are people that went, these are real emails. These are people that went off and watched a YouTube video. You got this guy right here. He opened this thing 7 times. 7.
What did you give away free on this email to get him into your AWeber?
I think this was actually for you.
Was it for me?
Let's go look. Yeah. Well, let's go look and see what the email was.
I think I gave some free training.
Yep. Let's go look and see what that email was. Yep. That was yours.
There you go. That was free training there. About AWeber,
Yep.
how to use AWeber and my lead gen secret. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, but there's people chomping away over here doing this. So like over here, you got 1 unsubscribe. It's going to happen. I want them off the list anyway. But again, 32 people got added to my list over there. And then once they got in this openers list, they start getting in the list of unsubscribed. Very few unsubscribes, by the way. So the people that get in there, the whole time I've been building this list, that first email, there was only 13 unsubscribed. So day one, they're getting a pile of bonuses. They're getting a pile of stuff. I'm giving value. I'm giving stuff that's of interest. And if they like that, then they'll come back and take another bite the next day. Okay, and the next day, I'm talking about marketing. I'm just talking about mindset training. And down at the bottom, they could come over here and potentially buy a product from me. I'm kind of testing the waters down here. So you get the general idea there. That's what each of these are. They just go through that process. I can tell you the next thing I'm doing here is I'm going to be building what's called a segmentation series, where now that they've made it this far into this, for about 4 days, I'm going to be sending them emails surveying those leads. I'm going to have, just to make sure I'm sending you the right emails, which of these interests you the most? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send them a survey that says video marketing, email marketing, home-based business, those types of things. Whichever thing they choose, I'm actually going to take them over here to one of these commercial autoresponders, and I'm going to put them in a list respective to what they said they're interested in. So then you start building this hyper-focused list of people that maybe they're interested in video marketing because they said they were, or email marketing, or whatever. And you're starting to get them over into other lists, into what they said they wanted to see. And what you do is you reward them. So whatever their answer is when they go select that, you might give them a bonus around video marketing if they said that's what they're interested in. But to get the bonus, guess what they have to do? They have to opt into that list to download the damn bonus. Okay? So that's how you get them off the fence over here in these other buckets into segments. List segments is what we're looking at. So there'll be about 4 days of that where that's what's going to happen here. Is tomorrow they'll get one, the next day they'll get one, the next day they'll get one, until I've surveyed them. And my hopes there are that I'll have a percentage of the people that are in this openers list right here. A percentage of that 853 are going to come along and get put in those other buckets. But that's automated. I never have to touch that again after I do that. So the next round of people that, tomorrow's 24 people are going to end up making their way through there and going through that, and they're going to get surveyed, and then their friends are going to get surveyed, and those folks are going to get surveyed. And over time, you have this machine working for you that's just this cyclical funnel of people coming through here and making their way through it. So maybe that makes sense to you. I hope so.
Very, very informative. I'm hoping that those who are watching this video who have dropped out of My Lead Gen Secret or having trouble with My Lead Gen Secret, getting somebody to interact or respond or opt in, or I'm hoping after you finish watching this video, the light bulb's going to go on and you go, oh, that's how Marty and Harvey do it.
Yep, that's correct. So the idea is to get people into these other ones. That's where your money lists are, where your funnels are in place. Like this particular one, the reason I pulled this up real quickly, there's 13 days basically, or 14 days. I have 2 weeks of follow-up emails over here for this one funnel. So if somebody wants to get a free funnel to use for their business, that's where it's taking them. See my open rates and my click-through rates? They're pretty freaking high all the way through because these people stay engaged. They stay hyper and focused on what they said they wanted. And by doing that, by the time they get over here to day 14, they've made some kind of decision if they're going to buy something through that funnel or they're not. And that's the goal. But this funnel's worth about $800 if they take action on it. So that's why I want them there. That's real money. That's where it sits.
Okay, we're at 32 minutes. Anything else we need to talk about? We'll wrap this up.
Not right now. I think that pretty much covers it.
Of course, I have more training videos about My Lead Gen Secret at HarveySilverFox.com, so you're welcome to go there for training. And of course, you're going to find Marty. You're all over the place on My Lead Gen Secret, the Facebook, Facebook group over there. You're constantly there.
Yep, that's correct. And they're interacting. There's somebody else that got paid.
All right. So as you can see, it does work, but you have to be a little creative and you have to learn how to run people through your sales funnel, through your AWeber, how to get people into your AWeber, your get response. And just don't sell something right out of the gate. That's the reason that 98% of them fail. The money's in the list. The list is all that matters. Okay, with that said, Marty, let's wrap this up. And until our next training video, let's go make some money.